Aloha, Hawaii Prepper. Remember not too long ago the Chinese was using lasers fired from their satellites to gather weather information or like intelligence information. Well, now experts are claiming that the Chinese satellite is gathering intel for Pearl Harbor style hypersonic missile attack by using those green lasers. So China used the green lasers fired from satellites to gather intelligence for a surprise hypersonic missile attack on Hawaii. It has been warned. The satellite was recorded flashing lasers for a fraction of a second by a live stream camera attached to a telescope on top of a mountain on one of the islands here, the Big Island. Initially, the lights were thought to come from a NASA satellite before it was finally established. It was a Chinese pollution monitoring satellite, the DAQI-1, DAQI-1. But questions immediately began to be raised about why the Chinese would feel it necessary to monitor pollution in Hawaii, given the large U.S. military presence here. And it comes just weeks after China flew a giant balloon over the U.S., which was widely understood to be a spy tool, even as Beijing claimed it was a civilian weather airship. Now, Pearl Harbor on Oahu, Hawaii remains vital for the United States military, and the presence of the satellite comes amid increased tensions between the U.S. and China. It's currently home to Joint Base Pearl Harbor, Hickam, a joint U.S. Navy and Air Force facility that's headquarters to both the United States Pacific Fleet and Pacific Air Forces. Japan's attack on the U.S. Navy on December 7, 1941, marked America's entry into the Second World War. Now, experts are warning the Chinese activity could pave the way for a repeat surprise attack on the U.S. Rick Fisher, an expert on China's military at the International Assessment and Strategy Center, said the satellite is a classic case of a Chinese dual use of civilian technology that also serves military missions. The DAQI-1's lasers specifically monitor the density of the atmosphere and can detect different wind directions, he told the Sun Online. This is precisely the data required for China to accurately target small multiple re-entry vehicle nuclear warheads or more recent hypersonic glide vehicle warheads. HGV warheads seek to exploit low trajectories that are also low altitude and thus are very vulnerable to adverse weather conditions, necessitating the weather data precision that would be available from laser measures. Now, he agrees Hawaii is at risk of another surprise attack, this time by the Chinese People's Liberation Army. Indeed, there is an increasing Chinese threat to Hawaii, but in a general war over Taiwan, the PLA will also likely target U.S. facilities in Japan, South Korea, Alaska, and California, he said. Chinese weather satellites that use green lasers can assist the precise targeting of hypersonic glide vehicle warheads that will be carried by air-launched ballistic missiles launched by Jian H-6N bombers that can be refueled in order to reach Hawaii. China has built up a huge arsenal of hypersonic missiles aimed at neutralizing the power of the U.S. Navy, dubbed carrier killers, and attacking American facilities in the Pacific. A live stream camera on top of a National Astronomical Observatory of Japan camera atop the Subaru telescope on Mauna Kea recorded the footage of the laser in late January. And the footage shows green beams dancing, sweeping across the night sky. it's a Chinese satellite that is measuring pollutants, among other things, said Roy Gall from the University of Hawaii Institute. Right. Immediately, questions began to be asked, including from former Chief of Staff of Marine Forces Pacific, Ray Lurow. I hope I'm not butchering his last name, but he states, "I'm not sure, and this is my opinion, why the Chinese, who are probably some of the most prolific polluters on the planet, would be collecting data on pollutants on this side of the Pacific," he said. Tensions have flared between Washington and Beijing over the issue of Taiwan, which China believes is a breakaway province and not a sovereign nation. So, my thinking is what China's doing is they are looking for the atmospheric conditions if they decide to shoot their missiles out here. Looking for the perfect timing and right conditions. I'm not sure how that actually fits in when it comes to these ballistic types of hypersonic or missiles and so forth, because the atmosphere is unstable, it's unpredictable. I don't know if anyone can actually really accurately time things according to wind, pollution, the ash, and all of those things here. But definitely this is of great concern and something to be fully aware of, with the way that things are going on globally, with the war, the ongoing war in Europe with Russia and Ukraine, and then we have China and Taiwan. And my humble opinion is America is spreading themselves a little bit thin here, and we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And if we get blown out of the water, we'll get blown out of the water, and that's that. But we do, in the state of Hawaii, it's heavily militarized. We have a heavy military presence here. So that makes our state a huge target. So, seriously, how do we actually prepare for something like this? We just do whatever it is that we need to do as best as we can, and that's it. Not everyone can relocate during this time. Some can, some can't. If you can, do so. Go wherever you feel that it's safe and that you need to go. But in my humble opinion, nowhere is going to be safe, period. Everywhere is going to be affected to some degree or another. It's going to be global. It's not just going to be one particular country. All countries will be affected in everything, but it is something of great concern and something that the people of Hawaii should definitely be aware of, as well as the United States. And I'm sure that the government in the United States is fully aware of all of these things. But my thing and thinking is there's no way they can be in all places at one time, especially with the way that things are going. And to me, I think our military is being spread out thin, and resources are pretty much spread out thin as well, since we're footing a lot of the bill in Ukraine. And so continue to prepare. Do the things that you need to do. Gather the much needed items that you need to do while they are still somewhat available, while they are still somewhat affordable, and you are able to get those items, your protection items, your home items, food items, water, medications, all those things for your pets, for your animal. Anything and everything that you can think of, double up, triple up, quadruple up on your supplies as much as you possibly can. And just continue to prepare, because you all know when the need arises, the time to prepare has already passed. Aloha.